£60 million of the King's finest gold for a 20-year-old centre-back who's only made himself a regular starter this very season. Yeah, Edwards and the rest have officially lost their minds. Or have they? See, it is true that we spent big last summer on players like Wirtz, Isak and Jacquet, and despite the rough start from some of them, these are proven players. Their quality is there for everyone to see, and there is absolutely no doubt that they will reach their levels, whether rival fans like it or not. But Jeremy Jacquet is a different case. The defender was just hijacked from Chelsea, by the way, is still very much unknown to the wider audience. If it was not for social media, we are willing to bet that many people would not even have ever heard of him. And maybe that is exactly why the price tag has raised so many eyebrows. More than 50 million for a player most people have never properly watched with their own very eyes. It sounds crazy on the surface, but that is exactly what we are here to do today, to break down, as we try to explain what could make Jacquet a truly special defender to have. So hit that like and subscribe button and let us jump straight into the video. So guys, what actually makes Jacquet so good? Why were top teams hunting for his signature and ready to pay big money, even when they know he would not join them immediately this January window? Well, let us start with the most obvious thing. Something you will have noticed right away if you watch Jacquet play in a live match. Take a look at this touch map. This one belongs to another centre-back playing at Reims. At first glance, nothing looks strange. Most of his touches are exactly where you would expect them to be for a centre-back. Now take a look at Jacquet's touches map. See the difference? For such a young centre-back, he gets involved in a lot of central areas and much higher up the pitch. That already tells you something about the trust placed in him. The reason behind this is simple. When he plays as the central centre-back, Reims' manager allows Jacquet to step into midfield and take up central positions, almost acting like an inverted centre-back. It is a role that requires confidence, awareness and calm on the ball, especially at his age, and Jacquet is given that freedom again and again. Now, why is there so much trust placed in him? Well, it's not an easy role for a defender to play, right? The middle of the pitch is usually where midfielders show their technical quality and control games. But that is where the trick lies. Jacquet's technical ability is closer to that of a midfielder than a traditional centre-back, and this trust from his manager comes down to two key abilities he has. The first one is his ball manipulation. Jeremy takes the ball with full control, quickly changes his body shape, and opens up passing angles by moving the ball around with ease. Just look at this sequence. He keeps the ball close under his foot, drags it back with the sole of his right, makes it look like he's going for a pass back to the goalkeeper, and then rolls the ball smooth to the opposite way and into space to move forward. In one smooth action, he toys with the pressing player, creates space for himself, and gives his team a way to progress the ball calmly. The second trait becomes clear the moment Jacquet escapes his marker. Notice how comfortable he is carrying the ball forward with real pace. His long legs allow him to take big strides while keeping the ball close, which makes it almost impossible for the player behind him to catch up. It is also worth pointing out that even though he looks lean and has a slender frame, Jacquet has more than enough strength when he drives forward with the ball. He can ride challenges and shrug off opponents without losing balance, which makes his carries even more effective and dangerous. These two traits are going to be extremely valuable for us, especially during build-up in deeper areas. His ball manipulation and ability to carry forward giving us something that Konate often struggles with. And honestly, that alone already explains a big part of the fee that we paid for him. Now don't get us wrong, we're not saying Jacquet is some kind of build-up cheat code just yet. His ability, even though he clearly wants to break lines, still has room to grow. And the two traits we just talked about will also get better with time. If this boy settles into the Premier League and continues developing on an upwards path, plenty of clubs will look back and regret not matching our offer or even going higher. So we've established that Jacquet is technically secure on the ball, his passing range and execution are solid, but they can definitely improve if he wants to become a complete player in possession. But what about the defending side of the game? After all, that is what centre-backs are judged on first. Well, let us take a look at these moments. Here, Jacquet shows excellent awareness. He recognises that his centre-back partners step out of line to close down the free man in the middle of the pitch. Without hesitation, Jacquet shifts across to cover the space, and that has just been left behind. What makes this even better is how he does it. His footwork is clean and well timed, making sure the forward is caught offside and no longer a real option for a ball over the top. And even when the pass is still played, notice how quickly Jacquet reacts. He gets his body in front of the attacker straight away and shuts down the move before it can turn into anything dangerous. Just like we mentioned earlier with his ball carrying, Jacquet is also quick and powerful when defending space in behind. He is what you would call a fire extinguisher, if we want to label defenders in a fun way. When something goes wrong in the backline, Jeremy is often the one flying across to put the fire out and clean things up before it turns dangerous. He uses that same power when pressing attackers from behind. With his long legs, he can poke the ball away or hook it back even when the opponent thinks they are already past him. Where Jacquet can struggle at times in wide areas, especially in 1-against-1 situations against quick and tricky wingers. That said, this is completely coachable and something that can improve quickly, especially for a player this young. When it comes to aerial duels, Jacquet also knows how to use his body well. He often places his arms on the forward shoulder in a clever way, limiting their movement and giving himself the edge to jump higher. Combine that with his strong leap and height, and he becomes a very reliable presence in the air. So when you put it all together, was the price really that crazy after all? £60 million is still a lot of money, especially for a defender this young. But once you break down what Jacquet already offers, see how his skill set can translate to the Premier League, and what he can still become, the picture starts to make more sense. We're not just paying for what he is today, we are paying for what he could be in 2 or 3 seasons if his development stays on the right path. The modern game demands more from centre-backs more than ever before. They're not just there to defend their box anymore, they need to be comfortable on the ball, brave enough to step into midfield, and quick enough to defend large spaces behind them. Jacquet already ticks many of those boxes, and at just 20 years old. But here is where the debate starts. Is he ready right now, or let's say next summer when he officially joins us, to start week in and week out in the Premier League? Or will he need time, patience, and protection before we see the very best version of him? Should he be eased in slowly or thrown straight into the deep end to speed up his growth, especially with Konate being rumored to be leaving in the next window? And more importantly, is this the right environment for a young defender to make mistakes and learn from them without pressure crushing him? There is also the comparison game. How many young centre-backs in Europe actually offer what Jacquet does on the ball, while still having the physical tools to defend at the highest level? And if there are not that many, then was 60 million really an overpay, or just the new reality of the market? Let us know what you think. Do you believe Jacquet will justify the fee and become a starter for years to come, or do you think the club should have spent that money elsewhere? Would you rather sign a proven defender, or take a risk on a player like this with a high ceiling? Get involved in the comments, because this is one of the signings that will be talked about for a very long time. And if you enjoyed today's breakdown, do consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel for more.